can do whatever you feel. We'll roll with it.
Oof, I like you.
Like
A flexible man. All right. Well, we'll just get started. We'll just talk naturally because I don't want to fake the funk. All right, Guy, Sebastian, I am so excited to have you here in my studio.
Too.
I'm going to warn you, it's going to get really hot, not just because of my beauty, but and your hotness, but it's just going to get hot. Thank you so much for coming out here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I think the hotness might be due to the fact we were just talking about Enrique Iglesias. And
my listeners know
like
me and Enrique.
Fan.
Oh, my God.
Man, you're properly a fan. See, I'm equally a fan of Anna Kournikova.
Really? She didn't do anything.
Oh, no, just her tennis. Like, oh, yeah, she's pretty too, whatever, but
I mean, she doesn't play tennis. I mean,
I know, but she's easy on the eyes.
Okay. Well, you take her away from him, and I'll take him away from her.
Exactly.
High five from afar.
Yes,
that's the plan.
Absolutely. I met Enrique last year. He came on the show that I worked on. I'm a judge on the X Factor back home in Australia.
The X Factor. That's right, guys in the Valley. If you're wondering, wow, he talks a little funny. It's because he's from Australia. Which part of Australia?
I can talk like this. If that's better, if I can like put on a little accent that's really bad, and I only really know how to speak like this because I'm like a massive Forrest Gump fan.
Oh my God. I
My
love
name's
Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump.
My mama says life is like a box of chocolate. She says they can take me anywhere.
So how many times do you watch that? Because we can gauge how much of a life you have.
Loads of times.
Loads of times. All right.
What's wrong with your legs?
My mama says he's a magic leg. She says they can take me anywhere. I love that movie. I love you, Jenny.
You would equally like Talladega Nights then. The Ballad of Ricky Bobby with Will Ferrell.
Haven't seen it.
I think you would adore that.
I will watch it on the plane tonight.
You have to make sure you watch that and watch the unrated version.
Okay.
And so when you start quoting that, you can thank Randy. All right?
I will. I love you, Randy.
Aww. Oh gosh, I had flashbacks. All right, so you, just in case everyone hasn't figured out yet, you won the very first Australian Idol.
I did. It's just like American Idol. We had judges, we had kind of the Simon Cowell, kind of the mean guy. We had the crazy girl in the middle, and we had the equally crazy guy on the end. And it was fun. I mean, it was, we didn't know what it was. I had no idea what Idol was. It was the first one. It was,
right.
I guess, like I'm kind of, I guess, the Kelly Clarkson of Australia as far as I was the first Idol, and so, yeah, I've had such a great time. I've made 5 albums and had an amazing time. I've worked with some incredible people, and now here I am in Virginia talking to Randi. Yeah,
you're in Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Yeah.
And so, question about that. That was McNamara from 98 Rock. Wondering what's going on.
He's like, I can hear this funny accent in there. Is Randy okay?
No, because they'd probably be looking for my ex. Wait, he finally showed up here. All right, so I have a question. So, what is it like to go from being like, I had 5 albums, I rocked my country, my continent. Now I'm gonna come over to the States, and you gotta start from
scratch. Totally. Like I play some nice big venues back home, and there's thousands of people that know the songs that have been with me through the whole journey, and then here I am totally starting from scratch. I've played venues. My first gig here was not long ago. It was like 10 people, and I have to build it up, from nothing. And so it's humbling, but it's really cool. Like it's funny because on Idol, it happens really quick. Like you see Kelly Clarkson go from, whatever job she was doing and to having millions of fans, and it happens within months. So I don't think you get to appreciate the small things in life. And so, there's 10 people at one of my gigs, but then the next week there's like 20, and then the next gig there's more, and you appreciate that growth, and you meet them. Like back home, I can't physically sort of leave stage and go and talk to everybody, in the audience. There's like thousands of people, and I wouldn't physically have a voice the next day. And whereas here, like I finish and then I've got to pack up my own stuff and I go out and talk to everyone. I love that. Like I love this challenge, and it's great. It's like I almost depart Australia and enter another world where I'm a total different performer. It's cool.
Right. So it's like when people say that, being like on the reality television, the reality thing, you don't get the real like experience or something.
Yeah, well,
but now you get it now, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I did definitely gig, and I did demos, and I was a songwriter. I was an engineer before I was an artist, and so for me, I guess it was just a matter of what the opportunity was going to be, and I tried. Like I recorded dozens of demos. I went around to different record labels. They were like, "Oh, you don't really have the look that we're looking for," and I had a crazy big afro, and I was a bit odd looking, I guess, and so yeah, it was just that whole real superficial thing. Whereas Idol, it strips away the superficiality,
Right.
I guess, a lot of about music, and it strips away the formula that people can sometimes associate with music. And now we're seeing, in the last decade, it's not that cookie cut, clean sort of boy band or really good looking.
Don't talk about my Backstreet Boys.
No,
like
I love the Backstreet Boys. But you know what I mean? When I was looking for a deal, it was the time of the Backstreet Boys, and
Right.
NSYNC were firing. Britney Spears, Jessica Simpson, Christina, all of which are like stunningly beautiful girls and really good looking dudes. And so when there was just a kid who had terrible style with an afro that just wanted to sing, it wasn't really commercial, I guess. And
Right.
so it took something like Idol for me to get an opportunity to just be a musician and show that, I can write songs and that kind of thing. And so I'm very grateful.
Right. So let's fast forward to you arriving in the United States. How the heck did you get hooked up with one of my favorite female rappers, Eve?
Eve, oh, she's amazing. Well,
I love her.
I guess we just met at a bar, and she looked at my chest, and I've got the same paw tattoos on my chest.
Now,
She's
did you
like,
get it because of her?
No, I'm joking.
Oh.
I don't have that tattoo.
I was like, oh my God, that's a funny
She's
story.
like, oh my God, I got that tattoo too. I was like, great, I'm a singer. I've got a song called Who's That Girl? I know you've got a song called Who's That Girl too. Let's get together and make another song called Who's That Girl? That's how, no, it didn't happen like that. I wish it was, because that would be a cooler
Because
story.
every time I would see the title come from him, I'm like, who's that girl?
Yeah.
La, la. Oh my God, I love that
It's a
song.
bit different. I mean, so I wrote this song, Who's That Girl? And thought, I know that Eve, I didn't at the time, I forgot, but and later on someone had said, because I was looking for a female rapper. I didn't want the usual sort of rapper, kind of guest artist on there. And I thought, a chick rapper, I want the rapper to be the girl in the club, that I'm looking for. And so I thought of Eve straight away, because I grew up listening to Eve, and she's sick. She's amazing. And so we asked her, and she was, Eve's the sort of girl where it doesn't matter if you throw her tons of money. If she doesn't like the song, she's a credible artist, she's not going to do it. And so she's like, I don't even want to talk money. I want to hear the song and blah, blah, blah. And so she heard the song, and she's like, I really dig it. And she rapped on it. And that took her like 15 minutes. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
To write it and record it. It was like, she was insanely talented, like amazing. So, and she killed it. It's a great rap. And yeah, that's how it happened.
So were you guys in the same room recorded?
She was in London. I was in LA, and she's got a house in LA, but she's kind of living in, back and forth. But she was in London at the time, and she had landed, went straight to the studio, recorded it, and yeah, it was awesome.
So what else are we gonna hear from you? Like more good stuff, not just
I mean, I'm
Girl from
recording now,
Eve.
and I look, I've like I said, I've done a bunch of albums. I've got one here, for you guys. I've sort of brought in an album, but this is a weird one. This is called 2010. It's like my greatest hits in Australia, because I've done 5 albums. That meant I was at the end of my record deal, and before re-signing a record deal, they always release a greatest hits, and so it's weird. I don't want to release a bunch of old songs here. I want to release where I'm at now and who I am now. So I'm kind of halfway, probably 3/4 of the way through writing and a new album. So I'll record that within the next few months and then get that out.
Well, that's funny. It's 20 because the first disc has 20 songs.
Exactly.
And 10 because the second disc.
It's 10 acoustic songs.
I'm
and it was released in 2010. So it's like,
it works on all levels.
Isn't that great marketing?
No, it still is blowing my mind. So do you have the big record deal here yet, or you're trying to knock down Sony's door
I kind of, what I wanted to do was finish my record deal.
Right.
And then I would be kind of free to just choose somebody who's passionate, because I don't care about being on a big record label. I don't care. I just want someone who's passionate. Music to me is much deeper than just signing with a big label or someone who you think is going to hook you up or whatever. I just want to be someone who likes my music and who is into my project and gets me, you know. And so I don't care if it's a small indie label, or I don't care if I just fund it myself. Like I'm here funding it myself. Like this has all been off my own back, and I hired, you know, a radio company, and I've hired a little label to kind of distribute it. And so yeah, for me it's great. I at least I've built a career in Australia where now I can at least fund it myself, even if no one wants to pick it up. I just want to beat down all the walls and yeah. Cool.
You're making me very verklempt right now.
Oh yes,
I love you. I absolutely adore you. I'll give you a subject. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, so if people want to get a hold of you before, because Guy's gonna play a little song, a little ditty.
I guess I'll just play an acoustic version of "Who's That Girl."
All right, well, you can do that. We can rock and roll with that. And before you do that, you want to tell them how to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on like Facebook and stuff. And I'm on Facebook. You know, you can have a fan page on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I'm on that because I think the actual Facebook page, you can only have 5,000 friends or whatever. So that's...
And you're so big time, you got to have a little bit more.
You know, of course, you know. No, but that's stupid how they only let you have 5,000 friends, I think. But anyway, I'm on the Facebook fan page. I think it's like Guy Theodore Sebastian or just Guy Sebastian or something like that. But if you type in Guy Sebastian music, it'll come up.
Okay.
I've got a website, obviously. I'm on that whole internet thing that really caught on.
Interwebs?
Yeah, the interwebs.